My name is Anna. I am 20 years old. I live in a small village. My life was always simple. I helped my mother in the kitchen. I worked in the garden. I visited my neighbors. I had many dreams, but I was also shy. I did not know much about the world. When I was 20, I got married. My husband's name is Daniel. He is 25 years old. He works in a small office in the town. He is quiet, but he has kind eyes. My parents liked him. They said he would take care of me. I felt both happy and afraid. Marriage was new for me. I had never lived away from my family. I did not know what to expect. Before I continue, please support this story. Subscribe to this channel, share it with friends, and leave a comment. It helps other people learn English through stories like this one. Thank you for being here. The wedding day was small. We had food, music, and family. People smiled at me. They said kind words. But I felt nervous. I smiled, but my hands were cold. I wanted to be strong. I wanted to be a good wife. After the wedding, I went to our new home. It was not big, but it was clean and warm. The bedroom had white sheets. The window looked out to a small garden. It was quiet. It was now my home, but I felt like a guest. I sat on the bed in my wedding dress. It was heavy. My heart was fast. The door opened. Daniel came inside. He looked tired, but he smiled. His smile was soft. His eyes were calm. He walked slowly to me. He sat near me on the bed. He did not rush. He did not speak at first. He just looked at me with kind eyes. "Anna," he said, "I know you are afraid. You do not need to worry. You are safe with me." His voice was gentle. He spoke slowly. I felt a little better. I looked down at my hands. They were still shaking. He took one hand. His hand was warm. He did not pull. He just held it. "You are my wife now," he said. "But tonight is not about rules. It is about trust. We have time. You do not need to be afraid." I felt tears in my eyes. I did not want to cry, but I did. They were not sad tears. They were mixed with fear and hope. I covered my face. I said, "I am sorry. I feel so small." Daniel did not laugh. He did not get angry. He put his arm around me. "You do not need to say sorry," he said. "It is normal to feel this way." His words made me calmer. I could hear his voice near me. It was quiet. It was kind. We sat together for a long time. He did not ask for anything. He just sat with me. He gave me space. Slowly, I started to relax. I looked at him again. His face was calm. His smile was still there. He asked me, "Can I make you some tea?" I was surprised. I thought he would ask for something else, but he wanted to bring me comfort. He left the room. I heard him in the kitchen. Soon he came back with 2 cups of tea. He gave one to me. I held the cup. It was warm. It made my hands feel steady. I took a small sip. The tea was sweet. It helped me feel safe. Daniel drank his tea and smiled. "See? This night can be simple. We can just sit drink tea, and talk. I smiled for the first time that night. I said, "Thank you." He said, "You do not need to thank me. This is what love should be." We talked for a little while. We spoke about my family. We spoke about his work. We spoke about what food we like. The room felt lighter. The silence was not heavy anymore. It felt soft. When the tea was gone, Daniel looked at me. "Can I sit closer?" he asked. I said yes. He sat next to me. He did not touch me at once. He just stayed close. Then he asked, "Can I hold your hand again?" I gave him my hand. He smiled. His hand was warm. After some time, he asked, "Can I kiss your forehead?" I was shy, but he waited. He did not move until I gave a small smile. Then he kissed my forehead, very soft and slow. It felt gentle. It felt safe. I did not know much about love. I did not know what to expect on this night, but I started to see that Daniel was different. He wanted me to feel calm. He wanted me to feel safe. He did not force me. He waited for me. Later, I felt tears again. I said, "I am afraid I am not a good wife." Daniel held my shoulders. He looked at me. "You are already a good wife," he said. "You are kind. You are honest. That is all I want." His words touched me. I felt my face warm. We did not do much that night. We sat together. We talked. We drank tea. He held my hand. Sometimes he smiled at me. Sometimes I smiled back. At last, I felt tired. My eyes felt heavy. Daniel gave me a blanket. "You can sleep now," he said. "I will stay here." I lay down on the bed. Daniel sat on the chair near me. I looked at him one more time. His eyes were still kind. His smile was still soft. I closed my eyes. For the first time that day, I felt peace. I fell asleep with his gentle voice in my mind. The next morning, I woke up slowly. Sunlight came through the window. The room was quiet. I looked around. Daniel was not on the chair anymore. I felt a little worried. Then the door opened. Daniel came in with a tray. On the tray there was bread, butter, and hot tea. He smiled at me. "Good morning, Anna," he said. I sat up on the bed. He placed the tray near me. I said, "You did not need to do this." He answered, "I wanted to. You did not eat much yesterday. I want you to eat well today." His words were simple, but they felt kind. I took the bread and ate slowly. The tea was warm. It made me feel calm. After breakfast, Daniel helped me take off the heavy wedding dress. I felt shy, but he did not look with bad eyes. He helped me fold the dress and put it in the cupboard. He said, "Now you can wear something light and feel free." I changed into a simple dress. I felt better. That day we cleaned the small house together. Daniel showed me where the dishes were. He showed me the garden. There were a few flowers. There was also a small tree. He said, "We can plant more later. You can choose." I smiled. I liked the idea. It felt like our home now. In the afternoon, We sat in the living room. Daniel asked me about my dreams. I told him I always wanted to bake cakes. I said I wanted to learn how to make bread. He listened carefully. He said, "That is a beautiful dream. Maybe one day you can open a shop." I laughed a little. I said, "It is too big for me." He said, "No dream is too big." His words made me think. I never told anyone about this dream before. I felt too shy. But he listened with care. I felt seen. I felt important. At night, we had a simple dinner. I cooked rice and vegetables. Daniel helped me cut the onions. He made me laugh when he cried from the onion smell. He said, "You see? I cannot be a cook. I will only cut onions." I laughed more. The house felt full of peace. Days turned into weeks. Life started to feel normal. We woke up early. Daniel went to work in the town. I stayed home. I cleaned. I cooked. I watered the small garden. When he came home in the evening, we ate together. We talked about his day and about mine. Sometimes he looked tired, but he always smiled when he saw me. One evening, I waited for him with fresh bread. I worked hard to make it. When Daniel came home, I said, "I tried to bake today." He took one piece. He ate it slowly. Then he said, "It is very good. I am proud of you." My face felt warm. I felt happy. But not all days were easy. One day, I burned the food. The pot was black. I felt bad. I wanted to cry. Daniel came into the kitchen. He looked at the pot. Then he looked at me. I said, "I am sorry. I ruined it." He smiled. He said, "It is okay. We can eat bread and cheese today. Next time it will be better." His calm words made me feel safe. He did not shout. He did not complain. He just smiled and helped me clean the pot. Little by little, my fear went away. I felt less shy. I started to speak more. I started to laugh more. Sometimes Daniel told me small jokes. Sometimes he asked me to sing while I cooked. He said, "Your voice makes the house warm." I sang simple songs. I felt happy again. One Sunday, Daniel said, "Let us go for a walk." We went to the park in town. Children were playing. Families were sitting on benches. The air was fresh. We walked slowly. Daniel held my hand. At first, I felt shy. I looked around, but he said, "It is okay. You are my wife." I felt calm. I let him hold my hand. We sat near the lake. We watched the water move. Daniel asked me, "Do you miss your family?" I said, "Yes, sometimes I do." He said, "You can visit them anytime. We can go together." His words made me feel free. He did not want to keep me away from them. He wanted me to stay close. That was love. Weeks passed. Our garden grew. I planted flowers. I also planted small herbs for cooking. Daniel often came outside to see. He said, "You have made this place beautiful." I felt proud. I felt that this house was now truly ours. One evening, I was tired. I sat on the sofa. Daniel came home and saw me. He said, You look tired. Did you work too much today? I said, I tried to clean everything. He shook his head gently. He said, You do not need to do everything. We can share. Then he started washing the dishes himself. I watched him. I felt thankful. Many men in my village did not do this, but Daniel did. One night, I could not sleep. I sat by the window. Daniel woke up and saw me. He came and asked, What is wrong? I said, I sometimes feel I am not enough. I do not know if I am a good wife. He looked at me. His eyes were serious but soft. Anna, he said, you are more than enough. You are honest. You are kind. You care about me. That is all I need. His words touched me deeply. I felt warm. I felt safe. Another evening, Daniel came home with a small box. He gave it to me. I opened it. Inside was a little notebook. He said, This is for your recipes. You can write when you learn new things. I smiled. I touched the pages. It was simple, but it felt special. I wrote my first bread recipe that night. Our life was not perfect. Sometimes we had small problems. One day, I forgot to wash his shirt for work. In the morning, he asked for it. I said, I forgot. I am sorry. For a moment he was quiet. Then he said, It is okay. I will wear another one. He did not shout. He did not make me feel small. I felt grateful. On another day, I felt angry. I wanted him to buy new cups for tea. He said we did not need them now. I said, But I want them. He said, We can buy them later when we save more. I was upset. I turned away. But later, I thought about his words. He was right. We needed to save. That night, I said sorry. He smiled and said, We are learning together. Every day I saw more of his heart. He was patient. He was gentle. He wanted me to grow. He wanted me to be free. Slowly, my fear was gone. Slowly, my trust was strong. After 3 months, Daniel took me to visit his parents. I felt nervous again. I wanted them to like me, but they welcomed me. His mother hugged me. His father smiled. They said, We are happy you are in our family. I felt tears in my eyes. I was not alone anymore. When we came home, I told Daniel, Your parents are kind. He said, Yes, and now they are your parents too. His words made me feel part of something bigger. Another month passed. It was spring. Flowers were blooming in the garden. I baked bread almost every week. Daniel always said, It is better than the last time. I laughed. I did not know if it was true, but I liked hearing it. One evening, we sat outside and watched the sunset. Daniel looked at me. He said, Do you know why I am happy? I said, Why? He said, Because I come home to you. Because we eat together. Because we talk and laugh. That is my happiness. I smiled. I felt the same. Our life was simple, but it was full of care. Every day I saw that love was not about big things. It was about small things. It was about tea, bread, smiles, and kind words. It was about respect. It was about trust. I thought back to my first night. I was afraid then. I felt alone. But now, months later, I did not feel that way anymore. I felt safe. I felt loved. I was still young, but I was growing. I was learning what real love was. 6 months passed since our wedding. Our life was calm. Our garden was green. My bread was better now. Daniel worked hard at his job. I kept our home warm. We laughed, we talked, we shared many evenings together. I did not feel like the shy girl I was before. I felt stronger. I felt safe. One evening, Daniel came home with a bright face. He looked happy, but also a little nervous. I asked, "What happened?" He sat down at the table. He took my hands in his. His eyes were shining. "Anna," he said, "I got a promotion at work." I did not know what to say at first. Then I smiled. "That is wonderful news," I said. He nodded. "It means more money. It also means a bigger house from the company. A house with 3 bedrooms. 3 bedrooms? I asked. He smiled. "Yes. One for us, one for guests, and one for a baby in the future." My heart felt full. A baby. Our baby. I looked at him. His eyes were soft. His smile was wide. I said, "Do you really want children?" He answered, "Yes, when you are ready to." I did not answer at once. I thought about it. I thought about my fear on the first night. I thought about the months after. I thought about his kindness. Now I felt ready. I said, "Yes, I want children with you one day." Daniel smiled and kissed my hand. That evening we cooked dinner together. I cut the vegetables. He cooked the meat. We talked about the new house. We talked about the rooms. We dreamed about the future. It felt good to dream together. The next week, we moved to the new house. It was bigger. There was more space. The garden was wide. I walked through the rooms. I touched the walls. I smiled. Daniel said, "This is our new start." I placed flowers on the table. I baked bread in the new kitchen. Daniel laughed and said, "It smells like home already." I felt proud. I felt that this house was ours. In the evenings, we sat outside and watched the sunset. Daniel often talked about children. He said, "I want to teach them to read. I want to show them the garden." I said, "I want to bake with them. I want to sing to them at night." We both laughed. It felt real. One night, as we sat together, Daniel said, "Do you remember our first night?" I looked at him and nodded. I said, "Yes, I was very afraid." He smiled. "Yes, but now look at you. You laugh. You dream. You shine." I looked at him. I said, "It is because of you. You were kind. You were patient. You gave me time." His face became serious. "Anna," he said, "you gave me joy too. You made this house warm. You made me feel loved." His words touched me. I felt my eyes wet. I said, "We gave each other love. That is why we are happy." He pulled me close. He held me. Months passed again. I learned more about myself. I was not only a wife, I was also Anna, a woman with dreams. I wrote new recipes in my notebook. I baked cakes. I tried new bread. Daniel always said, "I am your first customer." He laughed when he ate the cakes. I laughed too. One day Daniel said, "Anna, I want you to follow your dream. You can try to sell your bread in the market." I was afraid. "Do you think I can do that?" I asked. He said, "Yes. You are ready. I will help you." His words gave me courage. On Saturday, I went to the market with a basket of bread. I stood at a small table. People came. They looked. Some bought. They said, "This bread is good." My heart was full. I felt proud. When I came home, Daniel asked, "How was it?" I said, "It was good." I sold all the bread. He hugged me. He said, "See? You can do it." Life was not perfect. Sometimes we had small fights. Sometimes we were tired. But we always talked. We always forgave. We always remembered the trust we built. That trust was strong. One night we sat near the window. The moon was bright. Daniel held my hand. He said, "I promise I will always be kind to you. Even when we are old. Even when we have gray hair." I laughed softly. "And I promise I will always care for you. I will bake for you, even when I am old." We looked at each other. We smiled. I thought again about the girl I was before, the girl who was shy, the girl who was afraid. That girl was gone. Now, I was a woman who felt safe. I was a woman who was loved. I wanted to share this with other women. I wanted to tell them, a first night should not be full of fear. It should not be full of pain. It should be full of care. It should be full of respect. Real love is not about rushing. Real love is about patience. It is about trust. It is about kindness. Now, when I look at Daniel, I see more than a husband. I see a partner. I see a friend. I see the man who held my hand on the first night and told me I was safe. I see the man who gave me courage to follow my dreams. I see the man I want to build a family with. Many years may come. Our faces may change. Our hair may turn gray. But the love I feel today will not leave. It is strong. It is safe. It is real. Thank you for listening to my story. Did it touch your heart? Please like, share, and subscribe to Basic English Stories. Your support means so much. And together, we can keep learning English through real stories.